Hi, I'm Maud Mosley. My pronouns are they, them, and welcome back to Tunes Tuesday, a weekly series where I sit down with 2S LGBTQ plus queer musicians and bands to talk to them about their music, their experiences, and much, much more. Today, I am here with Toronto-based emo rock band Cutsleeve. Thank you for joining me, folks. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hi, thank you so much for having us, Maud. I can get us started. I'm Chanel. My pronouns are she, her. I'm the lead vocalist in the band, and I also sometimes play keys, and I'm a Taurus.
Hi, I'm Leanne. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a percussionist and I'm the drummer for Cutsleeve. I guess I'll throw in my star sign too. I'm a Leo sun, but I'm also Pisces moon. So yeah.
Hello, I'm Amanda. My pronouns are she, her, and they, them. I am the rhythm guitarist and backing vocals for the band, and I am a double Pisces.
Hello, I'm Hillary, she for pronouns, and I play bass.
Hi, I'm Hannah. My pronouns are she, her, and I play lead guitar in the band, and I'm a Gemini sun.
Amazing. Well, thank you for all of you being here. I'm so excited to talk to you. And since I don't get to talk to very many, local bands, the first thing I really want to talk about is the fact that being based in Toronto, you decided to join in with many other local bands in the Musicians Against Encampment Evictions movement. And this was led by the incredible Encampment Support Network. So what did partaking in that movement mean to you?
So another artist that follows us on social media, reached out and asked if we wanted to participate. And I mean, I've been following sort of the conflict and ridiculousness of how the tiny homes builder isn't able to provide or maintain what he's doing to help folks because the city's being ridiculous. So, I mean, I think it's such a small gesture to put our names on that list. But I understand that also because this is it's become more prioritized to address the needs of houseless folks with the winter and how hard that can be. So yeah, it's just cruel, and I suppose that it's just hard to do organizing, especially during COVID. So it was a no problem to participate in that.
Absolutely. And for those who want to learn more about the tiny homes that you just wonderfully brought up, I will link resources down below. There are ways that you can support that builder and all the people that have joined in with that builder. Would anyone else from the band like to share what it meant to them?
I can speak a little bit on it. Like for example, I have to pass John Tory's apartment like every time that I go to school. And I mean, I've seen some demonstrations there, and I think it's really great because he can't just go and tell people to stay home during a pandemic when people, one, need to work because otherwise they can't pay their rent. I think it's going on a year and it's just not sustainable. And especially after like CERB has ended, there's really just been no support for people. And it's cold here, and in Montreal I've seen some really horrifying stories as well about unhoused folks. So yeah, like Hillary said, it's just I mean, it's just a small thing for us to put our names on something, but it's good to bring awareness like to the following that we do have.
Absolutely. So true. Thank you for sharing that and adding that on. Then the next part I want to talk about is really you as a band. So you define yourself as an emo, queer East Asian rock band, and your East Asian identity can definitely be found within your debut EP, The Parts We Could Not Abandon, particularly when it comes to discussing the fetishization many people experience, such as within the songs Durian Eyes and Yellow Fever. Why did you choose to highlight this topic on the EP?
I can talk about that a bit, especially about yellow fever. I think me and Leanne just sort of sat down one day and we were like, this is a problem that we both experienced, and we know a lot of people have also experienced it, but we felt that there really wasn't any sort of media that addressed it and addressed the negative like feelings that come along with it. So we were honestly just like, let's write like an angry song, but also make it kind of funny at the same time. And that's how we wrote Yellow Fever, is just like, we knew that this was something that we wanted to talk about because we're not really given the opportunity to talk about fetishization that much. So we wanted to use like our music as a way that we can really talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can speak a little bit about Durian Eyes. So the way that that song came about was Hillary had written something just on, I think it was like on her notes on her phone, just on like thoughts, and we had read through it together, and I thought it was very thought-provoking. And I was also going through feelings of like alienation and like feeling separated from like identity or the idea of home, or what that really even means as, you know, someone who is, you know, I guess I immigrated here, right? And I like have, you know, you have ideas of what a home is, and or like what it means to be even, you know, East Asian Canadian in Canada. So anyway, so we, me and Chanel wrote the lyrics together, and we had kind of hoped to just make a song about like make a song about alienation, about home, about these feelings of loss, not necessarily from material loss. It could be from that, but you know, there's a sense of like identity loss and not knowing where your place is in the world too, when you're sort of split between here and there. You know, we're not really Asian, we're not really like Canadian, we're like Asian Canadian. So it's like how to find that place, and hopefully, you know, other people who listen to the song really sort of related to that too. Also, the idea of durians came from, we had a friend of ours who created this art exhibit of this gigantic durian. Her name's Contudo, amazing artist, and made this durian exhibit where you could like go inside, and it was to represent sort of, you know, the spiky exterior of the durian, but when you go inside it's like warm and like coming home, and comforting. And so we sort of were inspired by that as well when we wrote the song. So yeah, hope everybody can relate to those feelings.
Amazing. Yeah, I think that's such an incredible thing about music is you can take all these, you know, powerful, complex feelings and really share them with others in such an approachable way that people can really relate to. So it's amazing that you're using your platform to do that. And then I kind of want to talk a bit more about your EP because you return to some of the roots of punk culture by creating and pairing a zine with the hard copy release of your EP. So what inspired you to make that zine, and what was it like collaborating with other LGBTQ plus Asian artists on the creation of it?
I can speak a little bit on that. So all of us being queer East Asian folks in Toronto, I know myself and a few others in the band, we enjoy attending zine fairs, arts fairs that happen in the city, especially that highlight queer artists and POC artists. And so because of our love for our community here, we wanted to involve some of our friends and peers, members of our community in this project. And we wanted to add like a unique visual and tactile element to our EP as well by including the zine. And yeah, just to showcase some of the amazing artists that are part of the queer community in Toronto and abroad. Actually, there's some artists that are part of it that are outside of the city. So yeah.
Amazing. And did you feel like you could communicate things through the zine that you weren't able to communicate through the album?
Yeah, I think we were all very amazed to see what each artist's idea or what they were able to put down on paper when we just gave them lyrics for whichever song they were making their page for. And so when we received back their works of art, I think we were all very like happy and excited to see what different people's visualizations of our lyrics bring about for them. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, that's so great to hear. I think it's amazing to watch these things really come to life in different variations. I think it creates a lot of, beauty and community, as you did mention. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. Folks, if you want to support and listen to Cutsleeve, please check out all the links below this video. Thank you for joining me. It was a pleasure having you, and make sure to stay tuned for next week's Tunes Tuesday if you would like to continue to support the amazing queer musicians that are out there, and Cutsleeve will be playing us out.
Started noticing a bit of a pattern.